This is Boxing Tickets NI. We are here at the Ulster Hall. We're just after the press conference to obviously announce Nations Fight Night. Today we joined with the Magic Man, Mark Dunlop. If there's anybody that can get the BBC back involved in professional boxing, it always had to be you, Mark.
Yes, well, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's fantastic for everybody involved in boxing in Belfast, Northern Ireland and Ireland, because I'm going to be putting them on major platforms, and as I say, I work with everybody, whether it's Jimmy Conlon or whether it's Ian Cochran, they're all on. It's no problem.
And Irish boxing's obviously booming at the moment. Obviously, we were just about to obviously have our last show of the year now on Saturday night, but it's continuing to open new doors, and I say, bringing the BBC involved in the boxing, it's bringing it into the mainstream. It's probably giving people eyes and ears. They probably haven't seen it before. So in some respects, it's probably the biggest audience some of these fighters might ever fight in front of.
Oh, 100%, Steve. You think about it. At the minute, what I was trying to say in that press conference is boxing is driven by the internet now. Well, as most things are. But there's a lot of fans out there that actually aren't really into apps and phones, and they actually just boxing fans that are probably sad they don't see anymore, with the exclusion of probably Boxer on Sky. You've got to really watch everything online now. But this show's going to be, as I say, it's going to be on Sky, it's going to be on BBC, it's going to be on their iPlayer. Every one of these fighters on this card are going to be given major exposure, and there'll also be a couple of fighters I think still to add.
I was trying to think of obviously the last time obviously the BBC were involved in obviously boxing. I think it was actually colm's fight with JP Hale here before the pandemic. So it's fitting obviously return. The last fight it was on the BBC before the pandemic, and the first fight since is obviously Colm Murphy headlining.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Like I say, I remember, I think it was maybe the same night Jack O'Neill fought it. He blew me away as an amateur. It was great, and then he disappeared. Colm disappeared. Both went away and done university degrees. So to go full circle and come back here, and especially for Colm to be headlining a prestigious event is unbelievable. But it is unbelievable for boxing in general.
I'm trying to think, obviously the last time you were here was probably back in 2019, so probably the year before that. How many times has this been you've promoted in Ulster Hall?
I think it's the third or fourth time we've done it. It really doesn't pay to come here, but it's an opportunity, and obviously with the support of the BBC, we're able to come back here. They want good venues, and there's no point at this point in time trying to oversell ourselves, so we're happy to come in here and fill it out, and tickets are going well, so we'll have a sell out, and people will be able to tune in and watch at home if they want.
And this deal with obviously the BBC, obviously there wasn't probably really anybody there other than Mark sidebottom at the top table to ask, but is this going to be an ongoing thing? Obviously, is this them now back into boxing, or is this a trial sort of to see how it goes for them?
Well, if it goes well, they're going to give me more dates, so that's the main thing. There is other dates I'm not allowed to mention at this point in time, but right now we're focused on the 1st of February and having a great night of boxing. It's a great time of the year. Everyone wants back out again after the January.
And 7 fights obviously confirmed in the card so far. Obviously you just announced obviously Colm's opponent, John's back in action. Tommy McCarthy probably helping the rebirth of himself. Obviously he wants to plan to have a big 18 months. How many fights is it going to be in total? I think there's maybe one more to add.
Well, one, potentially two. What I'm saying is we can go earlier. We'll have the place for the day. The BBC are happy to stream. We're going live from I think 7 to 11 for terrestrial television, but everyone will get on. We're online till 11:30, so everyone who I had will be on TV. So it's fantastic. But again, I'm being asked by other people to go on, but I want at this stage they go my fighters are all in good fights. There's a couple of 2 or 3 kids that only 1 or 2 fights. They'll be in learning fights, but we want good fights. That's what people want to see in this venue is good fights, and so if they're willing to fight, then step up, and it's going to happen.
Obviously, the one person that probably is within your stable is missing, obviously, is with Frank Warren. Obviously, is there any news, obviously, on a return to the ring for Conor himself?
Well, just waiting on them to get back with a date. Certainly, without a shadow of a doubt, if we don't get a date soon, I will be asking him, would they mind if I put Conor on? He knows that anyway. He's training away, waiting in the wings, and I'd love him to be here today, but unfortunately, he is contracted to another promoter, so, but I work with these guys, so there'll be no issue. But as I say, I don't want to, if they've got a date for him, obviously, I don't want to step on their toes.
Yeah, obviously that's a conflict, isn't it? Sometimes, obviously, with you as a manager, you would obviously jump at the chance because you know the platform is a give Connor. But unfortunately, when he signed to Queensbury, you obviously have to lead off them sometimes. So maybe they might say to you here, Mark, throw him in your own show yourself.
Yes, well, what they might do, that's what I'm saying. But as I say, everyone has plans. I have plans. They have plans, and and they must have a plan for Connor because I've asked him, is there any news? They're still waiting on the answer. So. And he knows that as well.
And like with 2 big years back to back, obviously in Irish boxing is booming. Like there's so many more new eyes in this sport now. Like obviously you have a couple of them on the card of yourself with Theo and Jack. Like, is it great for you? Obviously you can see a lot more fighters and probably going, I haven't worked with him before. Like, are you starting to now plot maybe other fighters you can bring and give them platforms like this?
Well, as I say, boxing changes from day to day. Like, to be honest with you, I could have signed everyone in this room. But what I won't do is sign people under false pretenses. So until I have a clear path for whoever it is, I'm happy to work with them, and everyone knows that as well. So I've no like, he's managing him, he's managing him. I'm a boxing man, you know that yourself, Steve. So like, I'm happy to work with everybody. And if it works for me, then that's brilliant.
And the more fight cards there are, the better. Obviously, Jay Byrne, obviously he's been on your cards before. Like, he's in the promotional game now. I think the week after you, but his 8th card in just over a year. So like, it's good for you to see all the promoters out there, because I guess it takes the pressure off you a bit, but then people torturing you looking on the cards for a lot of promoters there.
I had a fighter on Jay's show last week. I managed Jay. He was one of my kids. He's I'm really delighted at what he's doing for boxing, and like, as I say, I actually told him in advance this date. He knew that, but once I seen he'd put the show online, but I knew that this was happening behind the scenes, but I couldn't obviously tell him. But it doesn't affect him, and his show's not going to affect me. So.
And you're selling, obviously, tickets are selling well so far. Obviously, we're coming up to Christmas as well, so it's a perfect, obviously, opportunity for people, if they want to surprise people with a Christmas present. A night out in Ulster Hall is always a guaranteed great night of boxing.
Yes, well, about half the tickets are gone now, which I expected anyway, because it's obviously the early rush. All the balconies nearly sold. Most of the deer tickets are sold. It's going to be a sellout. There's no doubt about that. So I really don't need anybody else on, but I want to give kids the opportunity to fight here. Like, I know, like, Matchroom have been over and done shows, but they've put their own fighters on too. And like, to be honest with you, like, Irish boxing fans not always want to see people they don't know, or it's just all local kids getting an opportunity.
Well, look, obviously, Mark, we know you've obviously plenty of media obligations to do today. Thanks for your time. Obviously, enjoy your Christmas, and we'll see you at the start of 2025.
All right, thanks, Steve. Thanks for coming along. Cheers, bud.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you.